Hello everyone and welcome to the Crypto Nutrition YouTube channel, providing you with digestible crypto nutrition. And do I have some nutrition for you today? In this video, I'm going to be covering 5 top tips. These top tips, if I could go back in time, I would cram them down my throat and say, this is the law of the land now. You better listen. If you like what you see, please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, yo desktop, where you at? Now over to me. So let's start with number 1, time. Spend as much time as you can just watching the markets, whether that's a few days or a week, just to understand the ebb and flow of the crypto markets is super useful. Things can change like that, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. It's a very volatile market. So spend time looking at projects, charts, YouTube channels, Twitter, white papers, talking to friends, joining groups, and do this before you've invested a penny. That way, you're emotionally unattached from crypto before you've even got started, which means you can look through more of an objective lens and not FOMO into things or lose money straight away to put you off the space, because there's so much more to come from this space. Maybe put a little bit of money into Ethereum and Bitcoin to start with. This might get you going. This might help you understand things a little bit better. And of course, always only invest what you're willing to lose in anything, whether that's the stock markets or crypto. But for sure in crypto, don't invest more than you can. Don't start mortgaging your house. Don't start selling all of your things. It's important to understand that the market moves in cycles. Not everything's going to pump at once. Not everything's going to dump at once. Some coins will outperform others, and the markets may move slightly differently. Overall, things do follow Bitcoin. So then Ethereum follows Bitcoin, and then the altcoins tend to then start moving after that, be it to the upside or the downside. But understand that it's cyclical. What goes up must come down, and generally what goes down does come up, but that's not always the case. So just be aware that the markets are cyclical. So the first key lesson is time. The second lesson is what to invest in. It is a minefield. There are thousands of coins that you can invest in, and it can be pretty overwhelming trying to keep up with what's the next best thing to buy. If you have started following Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts, so many different coins are mentioned. Low cap gems, medium cap gems, small cap gems, this, that, and it's like, man, I want to invest in all of them. I see this expert talking about something. I'm completely new to the space. I should definitely now invest in this project because this guy has mentioned it. Do not do that. Quite a nice segue from time is spending time looking at coins. Rule number 1 of rule number 2, understand the coin before you invest in it. This is the same for any kind of investing. You know, if you imagine in the UK, we have Dragon's Den. I don't know if that's in the other places as well. But they pass up on investments all the time unless they really, really like what they see. Sometimes they'll invest in companies that financially don't actually make sense at that point in time, but because they really, really love the project, the people, or whatever it might be, they take a punt. But they will never, ever invest in something they don't understand or like. And there will be hundreds of coins that you won't understand. I'm not ashamed to say that I've read into coins that people have mentioned and thought, what on earth is, I don't understand every other word. But there are other coins that I look at and I'm like, yeah, like that really makes sense. I do think that's got legs and I just really like it. So an example for me, not to downplay NFTs, which you should look into, but as it stands, although it looks like it's going to be big, it's not really something I'm really that keen on. Like, I'm not passionate about NBA cards and gamer cards and all these different things that are starting to emerge in the NFT world. So I don't invest in it. And there will be loads of things that you'll see, and you will know when you hit a project and you're like, man, that is sweet. So for example, you know, I love Tesla, I love Apple, I love Beyond Meat. So I invest in all 3 of these companies. And it's the same with crypto. I'm only invested in projects that I really like. So generally, don't chase the PAMP. And that's a shout out to our friend Ivan. And I know a lot of people are missing his former layout, which was his morning videos. And he used to have his black coffee, no milk, no sugar. Tell me what you're drinking, tell me what you're drinking. Shout out to you, Ivan. That is actually what I'm drinking here. Black coffee, no milk, no sugar. And researching into a project is easy. They talk about fundamentals, and Ivan talks about PAMP, but research into it. Just look into it. It's common sense. Do you understand it? Do you like it? Look at some YouTube videos, follow them on Twitter, and turn the notifications on Twitter, because for me, that's been something that's really important is, do they post? What are they posting? And does that speak to me? And if it does, go for it. When you're investing in companies, stocks, shares, projects that you understand and like, you're actually supporting the project in itself, which is another huge reason why you should like the project, because then you're helping the project succeed. You're actually being part of their success, and you care about their success because you care about what they do. So that's rule number 2. Essentially, invest in coins that you understand and like. Rule number 3 is outsider influence. Outsider influence can be the most important or the most detrimental tool in your kit to help you become successful in the crypto world. Why? YouTube and Twitter are full of experts and veterans in the game. And there are so many good videos, good tools, and good resources out there that you can use to your advantage. But remember, there are equally as many people trying to pump their own bags. So bear in mind when you're watching these videos that a large proportion of people watching the video are literally waiting there on Uniswap or Binance or any platform, waiting for them to say a coin, which they're then going to buy along with everyone else and then dump straight away. So don't fall victim to that. Use YouTubers, use experts, use veterans to better your knowledge and to equip yourself with the tools you need to become successful. As well as this, reach out to your friends. The space is very early on, but a lot of us will know people that invest in general stocks and shares, and potentially people that already start investing in crypto. So reach out to people. If they're investing, get their advice, follow them, talk to them about it. What are they invested in? Why do they like it? What are their tactics? This is the kind of thing that you have access to for free. It's almost like a consultation, and you find that people are much more willing to talk about things like this than you think. You probably think in your head like, nah, if I start talking to them about it, they won't want to help me. No, people want to help you. People are here to help you. I'm here to help you. And so many other people are out there to help you. But again, as is the moral of this rule, be careful. Outside influence can be your best friend or your enemy. So pick and choose and become an expert in deciphering the information that you receive on a daily or weekly basis, and think for yourself. Don't just take the advice of others because they've given you that advice. Research and spend time looking into the advice given, and do not rush. The worst thing you could do is rush into a trade, rush into a coin, and rush into anything. Watch things and take things with a pinch of salt. So that's rule number 3, outsider influence. Rule number 4, have a plan. And your plan can be very, very simple, and it probably should be. For example, you might be in it for the long run, so you want to hold. If you want to hold a coin, hold the coin. Don't sell it. Even if it pumps and dumps or whatever it might be, if you're holding the coin for the long run, hold it. Determine what long run means. Is it 5 to 10 years? Is it the end of this bull run? But know what you're doing, know what you're looking for. Is it day trading? Do you want to actually learn how to day trade in the crypto world? There are a number of videos out there that can help you, a number of resources and a number of training plans that you can pay for to learn day trading. Or maybe you just want to learn it yourself. My advice is don't invest a great deal into day trading. If you are going to do it, what I would do is use a small percentage of your portfolio. But again, trade at your own risk. This isn't financial advice. And more than anything, enjoy it. Don't let it become your life. Don't bet your house on it. Don't let it take over. I think you'll find that when you start looking into some of these projects and you start investing, so many of these projects are genuinely groundbreaking. They're genuinely looking like the future of finance, the future of transactions, the future of money. So it's a super exciting space, but tread carefully and enjoy it. If you're going to hold or hodl. When I first got into the space, I thought hodl was just hold, but the D and the L the other way around. But no, hodl means hold on for dear life. And FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Honestly, it took me so long to realize what they meant. I felt like such an idiot. Everyone was mentioning them and I was like, why do people keep changing the L and the D in the word hold? Every time I ventured from my strategy, I wish I hadn't. And if I hadn't, I'd have more money today, or more coins, or more hodlings. So rule number 4, have a strategy and stick to it. Rule number 5 is less of a rule and more just something to think about and something to know, and maybe is linked to rule number 4, exit strategy. What is your plan to get out? Or do you just want to hold? Many of you will know Warren Buffett. How Warren has accumulated his wealth over the years is by holding. He's been holding stocks for years and years and years, and as a result is one of the wealthiest people on the planet. So that might be your strategy. You might want to get in, understand the projects, keep up to date, have money in where you can, and continue to invest every month when you get some spare cash and play the long game. And no financial advice, but this is what I'm doing. Having said that, we are in a bull market right now. It's no secret that there are gains to be made in the next few months, for sure. One thing to bear in mind before you start trading is you will not make the maximum amount of money you can make from a coin or from a project. So saying that, do you want to hold through the bull market and wait for the next bull market and maybe even the next bull market after that? Or will you genuinely be happy to get out with any kind of profit? Maybe you make 25% on a coin. That's 25% on the money that you put in, which is an incredible return on investment. If you can do that and be happy with that, it's 10 times better than losing. A lot of people lose money in this game and it can be over before you know it. So have an exit strategy and don't be afraid to take profits. You might sell some of your coins for profit and then the coin pumps more. It's going to come back down, and it's probably going to come back down lower than where you sold it at some point. Things don't happen immediately, so don't watch the markets, don't watch 2-minute timelines, don't watch 1-minute timelines. Just think about it holistically, invest in projects that you like, invest more time than money. Wow, that's a really good one. Yeah, rule number 5, exit strategy, but invest more time than money. Damn. Fair. So, in summary, rule number 1, and this just in, spend more time than money, at least initially, and don't spend more money than you can afford. Rule number 2, where to invest. Only invest in coins that you understand and like. If you don't understand it, don't feel embarrassed and like you should just because some YouTuber has touted the coin and you feel like you're going to miss out. You will feel that way, but just ignore it. Then spend time looking at the coin, researching the coin. Do you like it? Do you understand it? And move on from there. Rule number 3, outsider influence. Use it to your advantage, but be careful with it. Don't listen to the advice of every single YouTuber you see, but at the same time, respect that a lot of people out there do have good knowledge, good insight, and have been around for a long time. So once you've invested your time and you found projects that you like, you can then start looking at what other people are saying and use it as a tool and think about it and digest it. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. So think for yourself. Have a plan and stick to it. Do you want to hold for a long time? Do you want to day trade? Is there something in between? Maybe some coins you want to hold for a long time, and maybe some coins you want to just day trade with. But divide your money where you see fit. Maybe long-term holds should be the biggest part. Then medium-sized pot should be ones that might pump throughout this market that you can then cash in on. And then the smallest pot should be ones that you want to just practice day trading with and see where you can get to. That's not financial advice, but that might be how I would go about it. Rule number 5, exit strategy. Understand that you're never going to get out at the perfect time. You're never going to get out right at the top. It rarely happens. The only people that are doing that will be the big institutional investors who essentially have a degree of control over the market. Things like F2 pool, grayscale, etc. It's been a few years since I've started investing in general stocks and shares, and I haven't touched any of it. It's just there, accumulating, going up and down and up and down. Every now and again I'll check it, but really I'm holding for the very long term. So that's my strategy with stocks and shares. My strategy with crypto is, as I mentioned before, I have a large holding that I'm going to hold for a long time. I have a medium-sized holding that I'm going to try and look at capitalizing on throughout this bull run. And I have a small amount that I day trade with and just mess around with, because I'm not claiming to be an expert. And in my head, I'm always thinking there's so much more I can learn. You can never know everything. So keep your eyes and ears open and be willing to accept knowledge. But again, like rule 3, outsider influence, don't take everything as the final word. Do your own research, make your own mind up. You'll hear a lot of YouTubers talk about how early this space is and comparing it to the start of the .com and internet era back in the 80s, 90s. And it really is comparable to that. This is the next big thing. And if you're watching this, you are early. Please do slap a like on this video, hit the subscribe button, and ask me any questions. You know, I don't have many followers. I don't have much outreach. So I will be able to get to your questions. I will be able to answer questions no matter how small, big they are. I'm happy to speak to and chat to anyone. So please reach out, please join the community, and together we can smash this industry. We can help this industry. We can move forward, have fun, and make money while we do it. Sounds like a good idea to me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on the next one.